at Sparetime Recreation in Whitinsville, Massachusetts. With the Atlanta Candlepin Singles Tour, we have a doubleheader going on today, plus another match on the other side that we'll mention from time to time, but you'll see in a separate video. And in the B division today, Don Devish is the home bowler, and he's hosting Pete Rischitelli. And this is their Week 17 match, 18 matches in the season. At the same time, we have a D division match. Karen Rischitelli, coincidentally, Pete's mom, is visiting Madison, Lorion.
11's slippery as hell.
And the bowlers have warmed up here. They're getting ready to roll. And the next ball will count. Again, I'm Dan Castle here with the Candlepin Bowling Network. And nice snowy day here in April. But it's warm inside the lanes. And have some great bowling today. Welcome everybody to this recording.
So we're good?
We're good to go. Bowlers are checking. On your right is Pete Rischitelli. He's a visiting bowler on the B division, and his mom, Karen Rischitelli, is a visiting bowler for the D division. And here we go. First ball's out. Pete comes in on a 2-pin, gets an 8 drop, and he leaves a 1 and the 8. Karen a little wild on that one. So nothing to start with. It happens to everybody. On the right, which is out of the field of view here, but you'll see some of it, Micah Imparato is bowling in the A division against Timmy Douglas. No spare for Pete. Karen got that ball in there, got some pin action, and just dropped 7 in her second ball. We'll talk about stats. We'll talk about the ACST. And that's a 10 box for Pete and a 9 box for Karen, and I'm tracking the score manually. So for the record, the bowlers are keeping the official score. The score that I'm keeping is unofficial. So it is possible, perhaps probable, that I will make a mistake from here and there, and it may differ. But it should be close. Pete Rischitelli on this 3-pin drops 6, leaves the 1, 2, 9, 10. Karen Rischitelli comes in on a 2-pin, and she leaves a Cleary, which is the 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10. Pete on a spare attempt gets it. First spare of the match, and that was a nice shot. Karen trying to spare the Cleary, just hooks the ball slightly left of the head pin. Takes out the back pin. It's left with the 4 horsemen still. So we're tracking head pins and splits. And officially, it's not a split unless you take out the head pin. They look like a split, and I may call it a split, but for scoring purposes, it's not a split. Pete Rischitelli coming up into box 3, and remember the format here is 5 boxes at a time over 5 games. Their opponent will come up and roll in the second box. That's a head pin hit for Pete, and he puts 5 in the field. Karen with a head pin hit. She drops 8, so 5 puts him at 25 for 2. Karen's got a nice 8 drop in. The lead looks really favorable. It's 4 and a 7. He tries to spare this. It goes to the right 2. Karen's got a wood in front of the 4 and the 7. She gets the red line. I think she's got it. Right on the red line, and that's her first spare of the game. So both bowlers put up a head pin, and Pete's was a split, and he's got a 7 box. He's at 32 through 3. You gotta be careful or I'm gonna write down. A match is underway. On the right, we see Micah Imparato bowling. They're not scoring that one right now. Mike is creating a separate video stream. Pete Rischitelli, box 4. He comes in on a 2-pin, drops 6, leaves a 4 horseman. Karen Rischitelli, she's on a fill, puts 2 on it. That's 2 fill. 29 through 3. Pete takes out the head pin. Karen's got a big punch down there. They're all together. It's a head pin, makes a big effort on that and everything but the 10 pin goes. Third ball, box 4. And Pete ends Picks up with a 9 box for 41 through 4. Picks off that 10 pin. She has a 10, 39. Bowlers have 1 mark. We're coming into box 4, and again, the format 5 boxes at a time. Your opponent will come up after they finish the first 5, do the first 5, then we'll switch lanes and do it again each game 5 times. Head pin hit for P and a split. Karen ball hooks to the left, and she took out 4. It looks. He's trying to pick up the 4, 7, 8, 10. Not a bad effort there. That was a good shot, but the 10 didn't go. Karen's looking at 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. Good save. 6 and 8. So no spares for them.
So don't worry about it. You can get whatever you want.
That's a 10 box for Pete Rischitelli, and he's at 51 at the half. Karen with a 9 box, she's at 48 halfway through game 1. And the home bowlers are coming up for their turn.
Also, you record and then you. That's the way you do now. I'll do a commentary later.
On your right is Don Devish.
Stuff like that.
Bowler in our B division, excuse me. And on your left is Madison Lorion.
I'll make sure you get the right production.
He's a home bowler. Both of these bowlers both out here. Sparetime in Whitinsville. Nice house, very well maintained. Come on down. And they're connected to the restaurant next door. They have a nice arcade in here. And 12 lanes of camera. Don Devish on the 3 pin takes out 5. 2, 4, 6, 10. And Madison is getting some late action. He has 4. Okay, no spare for Don. Madison's got an opportunity here. Everything but the head pin. Devish with a 6 box. 9 box for Madison. He's tied with Karen in the first box. Donna's tied is behind Pete. Now, note for those of you watching the video, these 2 guys are not bowling against each other. Their opponents are sitting now after they bowl their first 5. Head pin hit for Don Devish and a split. It's an interesting leave for Madison. Devish puts a great bid on that one, but the 6 pin stayed up. Madison head pin and gets a spare. So 7, 8, 10 box for Devish. He's at 16. He's down early in this match. A lot of bowling to go. So I told you about the format. We're going 5 boxes at a time for 5 games. The winner of each string is awarded 2 points. And the winner of the total pinfall for the 5 games is awarded 4. So 14 points possible. Those go toward the bowlers' playoff standings as they get near playoff season, which starts in May. Okay, Devish with a head pin hit. He took out 8. He's left with a 2-8. Lorion off to the right. He's left with a 10 mark. Oh, just off the head. Good bid on that. Spare for Devish. Right in a 9 box. Devish is at 33 through 3. He's up 4 pins over Karen Rischitelli. Don Devish on the fill. And hit, nicely done. 6 in the fill. Rischitelli off to the right. Devish looking at the diamond. 2, 4, 5, 8. And he just picks up the 5. We're all knotted up at box 3 in the Devish Rischitelli match. Nice spare for Lorion and a 9 box for Devish. Some off-the-wall action for Madison Lorion for $9. He's at 42.
I'm gonna pace that schedule yesterday.
One more box in the first half of the first game.
Not a good run. No, we're 16.
Devish, first ball, box 5. Head pin hit.
I'm not Justin
Nice
Waters. I'm
pocket
gonna make
shot.
you go first. We'll start on 11, finish on 10.
Drops 9. 7 drop for Madison Lorion. Devish misses. Fair tries to play it off the wood. Lorion trying to get a 1, 2, and 9, and he leaves a head pin. No spare for either of these guys. 10 bucks for Devish. 9 bucks for Lorion. So halfway through game 1, in the B division, it's tied 51 each. In the D division, Madison Lorion has a 3-point advantage over Rischitelli, 51 to 48. So
Well, Timmy's not
coming in
practice
about
mode anymore.
the second half of game 1, excuse me. And our visiting bowlers, Karen Rischitelli on
Attaboy.
the right, she has a 101.5 average. Bowls out of South Yarmouth, Ryan's Family Amusements in Yarmouth. And her current record in points is 126 and 98. And she starts off the second half of game 1. Her son, Pete Rischitelli, also does not bowl out of Yarmouth. He bowls out of Timber Lanes in Abington. And he's got a 109.5 average, roughly.
All right, show me this one.
Has a record of 120 and 104. He starts out with a head pin and a split.
Nice ball.
Ready for
Nice
Horseman.
ball.
Karen Rischitelli puts up a nice mark.
All right, Timmy, pick up the pair.
Pete trying to pick up the Spread Eagle, just gets the 2 and try to take something off the wall.
All right.
We may be getting a little south
Gotta start
feed
somewhere. Not bad.
from the other match.
Nice bid there, tough guy.
9 bucks for Pete Rischitelli. 63-6. Karen Rischitelli is on the spare. So this first ball will be a fill.
Good rip. Everybody loves triangles.
Okay, and that's 6 in the fill. No head pin. Leaves a check mark. Pete threw a strike ball here on the left
Attaboy.
side. He's got kind of an ugly
Go
split
with
down
big.
there. It's like the castle left plus the
Get up
10.
there.
So that would be the 4, 5, 7, 10. Wood in front. Karen went wide. Trying to spare this mess. And gets everything but the 10. A valiant effort on that.
Starlight
Karen
fire.
trying to clean this up. And nothing doing, so that's a 6 bucks. She's a 7 bucks. 6 fill, 6 bucks. 9 bucks for Pete.
All right, finish the pin.
Put him on the
Finish
wrong
pin.
sides. He's a 69 through 7. Aaron.
One more.
He's a 70 through 7. There he's got
All
a
of
head pin
them.
and drops a bomb.
There we go.
First strike of the match today. Some tries to match
They'll
his
move
bomb,
if
but
you hit
doesn't
him.
get it.
I love this place.
He has a career left.
Yeah.
It's a 1, 2, 4, 7, 9.
Tickle it.
Okay. Hit it nicely, but the 7 pin stayed up, so an open box and an 8 for Pete. And trying to get a 10 here. And picks up the 10. I think that was good. I couldn't see around Pete. I'm going to call it 79 right now. All right, Karen Rischitelli on a strike. See the first 2 balls count in that box too. So that's the fill. First ball on the 3 pin, gets 7. Leaves a bit of a split here, not 50 split. 18 on the head pin. So Karen for her second ball is looking at the 179. Some wood in there that may help her get this. And she he just kisses this 9-pin for an 8 fill.
I can see that.
Pete trying to make a spare here. Puts it where he wants it, but it didn't go. Karen's at 88 through 8. And with their third ball, trying to pick up the 1-7 split. Gets nothing, so an 8-box 96. Pete with an 8-box 2, he's at 87. All right, last box for our visiting bowlers in the first game. Karen on her first ball. Puts it on a 2-pin. Use Caleri right. Pete puts it on a 2-pin, and he's left with 1, 3, 6, 7, and 9 pins. No wood. Karen's got a nice piece of wood behind that head pin. Maybe it'll help, but it did not help that much. So open box at a 10. Pete trying to play the inside of that. Nope. So Pete will be open. Pete will be under 100. That leaves the door open for Don. Karen with 9-box 105. That's her final score officially for the unofficially. Yes. The official scorekeeper here. And a 96 for Pete. Okay, the visiting bowlers come up. They know what they've got to beat.
Oh, that was. Yeah.
Switching lanes.
Waiting for Massachusetts.
As we do back and forth, we're going to go back and forth. So there's no lane advantage for anybody. So halfway through, both Don and Madison are at 51. So Madison was tied. Pete didn't put up any, or I'm sorry, Don was tied. Pete didn't put up any marks in that, so he's got smooth sailing. And both players on the head pin.
Come on.
Split for Don Devish. Madison looking to spare opportunity. He gets it. Matching Karen's spare in the 6th. Needed to do that. Devish is trying to hit the 2-7-10 split. I think he'll be happy with 1 or 2 out of this. He gets 2, so 9 bucks. He's at 60 through 6. Tied with his opponent at that point in the game, who was also a 6-1. Madison on a fill. Just brushes the head pin. And he puts 6 in a fill. Gives him 67, so he's taking the lead. And Devish had a head pin too. So Madison shooting at the 479. 479 gets everything but the technical. Devish has a little cluster. Punches it through the center. No spares for anyone. 10 bucks for Madison.
One more.
And a 9 bucks for Devish. Still in the B division match. Don Devish is tied with Pete Rischitelli, 69 each in box 7. Madison is a 77 to Karen Rischitelli, 70 at that point. But don't forget she's got that big strike 8 in the next box. Madison's off the head on that one.
Oh, I fell.
Devish had it hit the head.
Just wait until I wasn't
A little
looking.
mini split.
Now I made it worse.
5, 9, 10.
Oh, there you go.
Devish with a double line, or not Devish, Madison with a double line here. Picks up the back part. Devish trying to pick this up. Can't carry the 10, no spare. And an 8-box for Madison.
There you go.
Lorion for 85. Karen Rischitelli's back in the lead on this one, 85 to 88 for 8.
How are you, buddy?
Hey, Pete. Did you see what Don finished with?
Still bowling.
No, his last spot.
Yeah.
90. I missed that. I'd asked him.
Is that a wreck?
He had a 9-box. He's at 78. He's down Down 1 pin from Rischitelli.
Strike. Again.
Lorion puts up a strike.
Oh, Timmy too. Damn it. Sure.
Devish did not get the spare.
I throw a mark, and then you just like, okay, I'm gonna throw a better one.
But he gets 9 marks for 87 through 9. Tied up still. So he needs a 9 to tie or a 10 to win. It's that close.
2.
Lorion gets a strike.
Come on.
Threatens to double.
Oh, I like that move.
Drops 8, head pin, and a 9-10 split.
Nice ball, Timmy.
Get the 9-10. Devish is on the head pin, and he's left with the castle. Right. You can get this, he gets a straight. 9 into Phil for Lorion. 10 box, so Devish gets 10. He does. He wins by 1 pin, 97 to 96.
Well, they kept going.
And Madison Lorion will win this game 114 to 105.
I always keep it
Non-official
the
scores,
same.
people, because they're keeping their own scores. Sometimes there are the official scores.
Oh, nice. 2 to go.
And I'm bravely here to keep you a score in pen.
All right. Your
This
ball
will
is
still
great.
be completed
Dude,
afterwards.
keep it going.
And we're starting game 2. Bowlers switch back to their original lanes. Our visitors are up. The Rischitellis. Pete Rischitelli on your right. Bowling
We're on
against
target all
Devish.
morning. Keep it up.
You just beat it by 1 pin. Karen Rischitelli, Pete's mom,
Oh, no
on
way.
the left on lane 8, bowling against Madison Lorion, who won the first string. Came back with that clutch strike in the 9th, and did it.
Attaboy.
Game 2
One
starts.
full box.
2 points each to our home players. Pete Rischitelli drops 7. He's left with 1, 2, 4. Rischitelli off to the side. She did that in the first string too, but that time she didn't get anything. This time she did. Pete trying to spare that. And, he had another pin back there, the 8 pin. I didn't see that. Not that it really matters. So there's 3 left. Karen trying to put it in pocket. On the head pin, picks up the spare. Nicely done. A 9-pin spare with that strike ball. And Pete is
Attaboy. Give me 9. Give me 9. 21. Or 31 plus.
All right, box 2. Pete Rischitelli in the left pocket. Diamond right. 3, 5, 6, 8. Karen Rischitelli on a fill. She only puts 4 on it, but that's a 14 to start.
38. Nice job, buddy. Nice job.
Pete trying to pick up the diamond. He goes inside, just gets 2. Karen's got
My bad.
a whole half a rack there to shoot at. She gets a lot of it. Got some late action, and all but the 1-5. With the head box, 18 through 2. Karen, this is a tough shot, so if you have a whole rack up there, it's easy to do that, punch through, but when they're the only ones up there, let's see how she does. Picks up the 1, but not the 5, so 9 box. 23.
I just need 100.
Let's see, bowling runs in the family here. Both mom and son are great bowlers. Pete Rischitelli with, well, I recovered his average.
Oh, it was
9
9.
average.
I'll take a 9 drop anywhere I
Short
can get
winning
one, right?
season. Pete on a head pin, drops 8, left with 310. Mini split, Karen on the head pin light. She also got a spin. 3-1 split. Pete looking at, oh, it goes wide. How do you get that?
I'll have no business picking that up.
He didn't like that either. Karen trying to get the 2, 4, 7, 8, 10. the split. There's wood over by the 3 that may be helpful. Well, too far over. She does get 2 of them. 9 box for Pete, 27 for 3. Karen's got a 7-10 split for a 3rd ball.
That's payback.
She's going for the middle wood. And that didn't help, so an 8. 831. That was an aggressive move. A lot of balls move from one side to the other and concede to 9. She was trying to get all 10. Box 4, game 2. Rischitelli. 4 horsemen, right? There it is. Head pin split. And she's looking at similar to split to what she had before instead of the 10. She's got the 6 up there. He just misses a head pin, gets everything by.
Shouldn't you be locking down head pin hits too? No, I'll do it. I do it.
He's trying to kick something over there. And a little full.
Yeah, it's opposite head pin.
Gets 2.
Him
Trying for the head pin only. Gets it 10 box, 37 through 4. And Karen's got the 6-7. 7 and rushes that.
Do
for
it.
9 box.
Come on.
Sometimes if you're on that 3rd ball, it's tempting to go for the split, but a lot of times it's more prudent to hit that you were find easier to hit. And that's what I think she did there. She went for that 7.
See if I catch that cat and shoot myself around the pitch. Go for it.
Box
Just fit.
5, game 2. Herself off the head pin just a bit. A bit of a mess down there. Karen hit the head pin a little too much. And again, a 3-1 split. This time with the 10, just like the first one. Pete looking at a 1, 2, 7, 8, 6, 10. And he gets some to go. He sells 4 up. Karen trying to get one of these 3-1 splits to go.
That's what I said, just go for it.
That time she went wide of everything to the left. Now it's just a cleanup operation. Catches the head pin, and he gets 10. Beautifully done. 47 through 5. No marks. He only left 3 pins up there. Karen with a 9 box. 39 through 5.
Really?
Okay, correct that. 45 is 47. We are switching over. This place looks great. The blades are polished.
Oh, you're right.
Nice approaches.
I think I was a little too heavy either way.
It's nice and fresh. So I've got a match coming up here myself soon. So I've bowled a few times. It's a fun house. So now we're coming up with our home bowlers. Don Devish on your right, starting his 2nd half of game 2. He was in their 1st half, I'm sorry. And he's off the head pin regardless. Madison on the head pin. There's a bit of a split there. A lot of wood to play with. Devish everything but the 3 pin. Doesn't go for Madison. Both bowlers open, box 1. That's 10 box for Don Devish. And a 9 box for Madison Lorion. So Madison bowls out of spare time here. He has a 55 and 127 record and a 97 and 17 average. Don Devish also has a spare time. This is his house. He's a 73 and 123.
Yep.
5.4.
Second verse, same as the first. Man, I'm down 30 already. Nice job.
Madison on the head pin. Devish looking at the 189.
Oh, do it.
It does, but it doesn't go. And split for Madison. 2 and 2. It doesn't go. 10 box for Devish. 20.
Push it.
Pins completed.
Oh.
7 box for Madison. Lorion. 16. 2. He's down 7 pins from Karen Rischitelli.
Attaboy.
2 completed boxes. Devish. Perfect so far. No spares. Takes out 7. Madison went wide to the left. Left the double row. Don 2-4 goes wide.
That just is not right.
1 out in the ocean for Madison Lorion, and that will give him a foul ball.
Good ball.
There it is. Another 10 box for Don Devish. He's at 33.
Whoa!
That's a 7
That would've
box
been a hell of a
for
cut,
Madison
Timmy.
because of the previous foul. So that puts him at 23. He's behind Rischitelli by 8.
Keep it coming.
Don Devish first ball box 4. That's on the head pin. His first head pin in this game. And Madison puts up a strike.
Wow! Push it off! Come on!
All right, Don Devish. I think we got 3
Nice
spare,
kick.
and he does. Nicely done. That was a tough shot, and he made it. Both ballers on marks coming into box 5.
Tim, I think you had to throw it a little harder if you want to strike.
Devish on a spare. Lorion on a strike. Don Devish on the fill. Comes in on a 3 pin. Just takes out 4. Lorion on the head pin again. This time he gets a split with 7 to start with.
Fix it.
3 5s and 10. Devish trying to pick up that half rack. And just 7 for Lorion for the fill. Smith 40 through 4, so he caught up with Karen Rischitelli. They're tied through 4. Devish for the 9 box.
Nice ball. One full,
He's
one
at
full.
53. 57. Okay, halfway through game 2 in our B division. Don Devish leads Pete Rischitelli 53 to 47. And Karen Rischitelli leads Madison Lorion 49 to 47. Coming into the second half of game 2.
That one doesn't want to go
Rischitelli
down.
on your right. And Pete Rischitelli on your left. Nobody on the fill. Off to the left a
All
little
right,
bit.
make it hurt.
4 horsemen plus a 5 pin. Light hit on the head pin, but takes out 7.
Attaboy.
Gets a little mini split
Good
there.
half.
Nice spare by Karen. 4 horsemen plus a 5. He just threw the ball here.
Good time.
3
Fun.
more to shoot up. And it's a 9 box. He's at 56 through 6.
There it is. Good ball.
Karen Rischitelli's on a fill, just out of the pocket. 6 in the spare. Pete Rischitelli's on the head pin that time. No split for him. 3 6 10 in the line. Karen's looking at the 4 horsemen left. Plus, is he a pin back there? It is, so it's only 5 in the fill. He just misses his object by a tiny bit. The 9 box for Karen. 9 box for Pete. Karen Rischitelli's is 73 through 7. Pete Rischitelli's 65 through 7. He doesn't have any marks yet. Box Pete Rischitelli off to the 3. Aaron's looking at a similar lead as before. On the other side.
There you go.
Leaves the head pin, so no spare. Picks up the fuse. 3 more down there. Karen gets a 10s, 83 through 8. Pete with the 7 box, 72 through 8.
Oh man.
Needs to just marks up there. Get done. Some challenge. Okay, Karen box 9. On a 3 pin, leaves a 4 horseman. Box 9.
Micah.
This ball hooked to the
There we
right.
go.
Gave him a half Worcester right. 3 and the 9 is all that went. Alright, Karen trying to spare the 1, 2, 4, 7. There's a 4 horseman.
There you go.
Just
Just done.
off. Still there. He trying to get this half Worcester. Tough shot, but it's a make. And he missed it. And so 4 more are left up there. 1, 7, 6, 10. Karen trying to clean this up. That was kind of weird. She hit the object, the ball just deflected straight to the channel. She gets an 8, 10 for Pete. Through 9. Karen Rischitelli's at 91. Pete Rischitelli's at 82. They're not bowling each other. Their opponents will be coming up next. Box 10. Karen just off the head pin. Breaks up the 4 horsemen, but is left with a 1, 3, 10. He catches his head pin light, but it drops 9. He needs a spare here. He hasn't had a spare yet in the string. So just the 10 pin is up. Give him a head pin on that.
All right. Yeah, one more.
Karen picks up the spare. Nicely done. And he picks up the spare in the 10th. His first spare of the string. Much needed. Both bowlers get a bonus ball. Rischitelli on the fill, and she gets the bird. 4 in the fill for 4 horseman lead. Pete Rischitelli on his fill, came in on the 3, and he gets 5 in his.
Wow. Gotta go high on that one.
So
but
Pete
see what
closes with a
happens.
97. Karen with a 105 again. We've seen that before. Okay, did home
Oh,
bowlers
he was
come up
going
knowing
high
what they
in the
need?
word?
Don Devish in the B division, he's at 53.
That's how I would've played
He
it.
needs to get to 98. Has 45 pins, does not need a mark. Madison Lorion in the D division is at 47. He needs 59 pins to get to 106, which is his target. Anything less than that? And
I gotta get out of my head. Not the wood in there.
So, last string, Madison put up 2 marks in the second half to come back from behind. And he starts off with a hit on the 3 pin that took out 4. Devish over on the left side,
Ouch.
takes out the left triangle, leaves a
Hell of
double
a
line.
ball.
Madison picks up the spare, nicely done. Not an easy one. Devish picks up most of his lead.
Kick it. Yep.
He'll
Probably would
settle
have
for
been
a
the same.
7. Still ahead, 60 to 56 in completed boxes. Madison Lorion is on a fill. He's at 57.
Yeah, got a chance at the
Well,
pin.
because he leads. He has 70, a drop or better on that first ball.
Yeah,
So
start a
let's
new
find
one.
out. Here we go. And that's
Good
6
pin.
drop, 6 in the fill. So he's at 63. He's down a pin. Madison. Lorion. 10 bucks, nice 10
Nice
bucks
outside.
for Don Devish. He's a 70. He's up 5 minutes later.
Oh, good here.
All right. 71 for Madison Lorion.
He's doing well.
Karen Rischitelli's at 73 at this
It's a
point.
big first half.
There's another mark at the end for her. I thought that was going off a little bit. Don Devish with a strike.
Wow.
Big strike.
That's the threshold. Timber pins. Ah!
Oh.
Didn't push it enough.
Lorion put a bid on that. That was incredible. But the
Absolutely.
over,
Gotta
got
love
caught
that
up
wood.
in the channel.
Make it correct.
He's going to try for a 10, and he gets it.
Nice finish, Madison. Nice finish.
81 through 8 for him. He's down 2 pins for Karen Rischitelli, who has an 8 box next and then a 14 box finish. So he needs to get 25 pins in 2 boxes to
Now
win.
this again.
It's a nice head.
Push it.
Yeah. Devish is on a strike. First ball comes in at a 3, takes out 6. Madison's got the 7-6 split.
Oh.
So Don Devish finishes with 8 for 88 through
And another one.
9 box.
You will be.
97, his next pin hits a string. And that's a 7 box for Madison by my read, because I think that came out of the gutter. I'm not the official scorer here. And I can't see what the bowlers are scoring.
That's a head pin, but not a split.
That's my
Well, that's
call on
tough.
it. Or now the official score may
Nice ball.
differ. All right, Don Devish is 1 string 2.
Woo!
Either bowler on the head pin, both have 6, just different formats. Almost a spare. Closing out the 10
21.
box. 29. So
Take it though.
Karen
That's
Rischitelli
Westgate.
I actually coached out to 1-9 and hit 1-8-9. Really? Why are you doing that on the
Devish for
first
that
ball?
9, he will win that string. So game 2 is in the books by my records, which may not be right, but I think they are. Karen Rischitelli put up another 105 to beat Madison Lorion, 105 to 97. She'll get 2 points. We're split now, not 2 and 2. And Don Devish picks up game 2 also, 106 to 97. He's swept so far.
Roll up.
It's 4 points to none.
Jeez, no loop or
in the
anything.
match. I'm going to add up totals
Wow.
here, so if there's dead air, that's just me thinking.
Usually you got something to work with.
Do the other one. All right, so 2 games in, or starting game 3 here. 2 games in the D division, it's a tight one. In total, 211 to 210 in favor of Madison and Lorion. In the B division, it's 203 to 193 in favor of Don Devish. We started game 3. Rischitelli, wide of the head pin both times. Karen Rischitelli, the 5 in the middle.
Hey!
Game 3. No spare for either.
Got another one in you?
He puts up a respectable $9 on the 2 and 2
Go
split.
and throw striker tires.
Aaron's got a sideways triangle, trying to pick up an 8, 9, 10. And it's an 8. K-box 2. Very tight in the D division here. Both bowlers have won a game.
Two.
211 and 2 fat.
Oh, that looks so good.
Rischitelli starting box 2. In the pocket.
Nice shade.
Everything but the 2-pin. Karen Rischitelli. Ball takes a late break. She's off the head pin, but has a spare leave. 1, 3, 6, and the 9 pins hiding back there. Rischitelli misses a single pin, so no spare in the second. Karen looking at that check mark. Oh, the back pin doesn't go for her.
2 more.
9 box for P, 18 through 2. And Karen gets her 10 for an 18 through 2 also. Box 3, game 3. It's the middle game. Middle game of 5. Remember, we're doing 5 games here for the match.
Yowie.
Rischitelli just out of the pocket. Leaves Cleary. Rischitelli can't get that ball to break, so takes out 3, starting with a 6-pin.
1 more.
Trying to spare this. Just the 2-pin. Double line here that Karen has is makeable. She needs to put her ideally in a 1-3 pocket, 1-2 pocket. She's getting into 1-3. That might work for her, and it does. I see that leave a lot myself because sometimes my first ball's a little dicey. So you get good at that. Okay, 6 box for P, and he's at 24 through 3, so he fell under par. Actually, he's been under par, but wants to get a mark or 2 in there, challenged on. He's got a strong winning record so far this year.
Yep, we got 100.
Alright, that's a head pin hit for P. And a makeable spare. Karen's on the fill. Puts it on the head pin, drops 9. He trying to pick up his own spare here, and he does. It's that 6-10 to go, no problem. Karen picks up the 10 pin for a spare. Alright, so she is at 37. 3 and 47 involved for 4. Rischitelli on a spare. Goes wide to the brains. In there, Mark. So he should. So he puts 5 on his fill. And Karen puts 5 on hers for the Cleary right. He's hoping that'll go. Late action, and it goes.
Better late than never,
Big
right?
for him.
Come on, Timmy, show me now.
Rischitelli trying to pick up the Cleary. She's on it. Can't get that back pen to go. Great effort.
All right. Reset. Hold
All
down
right, with
with
that
stick.
5 fill. Speed at 39 through 4. He's at 49 piece of ball, 35. And a 9 box for Karen, so she also had a 5 fill in her spare. She's at 52. Closes a half with a 61.
Well, we're on target.
All right, we're halfway through string 3 for the visiting bowlers.
All right, grab one.
Rischitelli's at 49 plus a ball. Karen Rischitelli's at 61. Their opponents come up now. Devish bowling against Pete Rischitelli. And Madison Lorion.
All right, fresh
bowling
string, 3
against
pocket. Let's go.
Karen Rischitelli. Starting game 3. Devish, first ball of game 3. On the 2-pin. Takes out 7, is lucky with a 1, it's 8.
Attaboy.
And Madison starts out on a 6. Took out just those 6 and a 10. I'm just trying to pick up this. Everything but the head pin. Nice try.
There you go, right back
Correction
on it.
for Madison, a little too much. He needed to be on the head pin. Devish with a 9. Matching 9s for the bowlers in the B division. 7 box for Madison. Nobody hit their head pin in the first match. On Devish, box 2. That's a head pin. One of those. Madison's also on the head pin. Devish threw a great ball down there. He's rewarded with a 4-10 split. It's a wood, and the wood only takes out the 10. Madison's looking at the 6, 9, 10 triangle, and that goes no problem.
All right, Timmy, shake it off. One for the seats.
Devish with a 10 box, 19 for 2. Season, both the B and the D division, most of the divisions, there's 4 groups. There's North and the South Division Conference, and 4 groups of 4 in each of those conferences. Devish drops 7.
Wow. Wow. That's ball, DJ, no love.
23 for 2.
Right on it, Madison.
No, I'm sorry, 25 through 2, and another spare.
Woo!
9 box for Don Devish.
I appreciate it.
28. 3. Madison is at 35 plus the first ball. Devish on his first ball at box 4. On the fill for Madison. He's got 4 down, right? Yep, the 9 pin wins. So 4 down, no head. 39 through 3. Nice try by Don. Madison took out everything but the head pin. She's got a small lead against Karen in box 3. Box 4, she's going to take the lead again. A box for Don Devish, 36 through 4. 9 box for Madison, 48 through 4. So he's down 4 pins from Karen Rischitelli. Don Devish is down 3 pins, and he's up against the spare.
Wow.
Gets a split. That happens a lot. Madison goes to that 4 pin again, takes out 3. And Devish can't get a break here. He threatened that break. Wrapped right around. Madison put it where he wanted to. He's left with a 5-10. 8 box. Devish, 44.
That's weird.
That's Lorion was waiting for the wood to settle. He wants to throw a ball. The wood's moving, and he puts it through the opening here. He has an 8 box. And it's still tight. On the D division, halfway through game 3, halfway through the Karen Rischitelli leads 61 to 56 over Madison Lorion. In the B division, Pete Rischitelli leaves 49 plus of fill ball to Don Devish's 46. Devish has won both of the first 2 games. In the D division, they've each won 1 game. Karen Rischitelli 61.5. Setting up to start the second half of game 3.
Oh, I tried to. Yeah.
And off to the right. Takes out 5. Rischitelli on the fill. Pete Rischitelli. Just 4 on the fill. Or no, actually Karen was on the fill. She was 5 in hers, I'm sorry. Oh, Pete was on the fill. Let me get this straight. I get confused. There you go. Regardless, Karen has a spare. She's at 70.
Wow,
On
fine.
plus this
Grab the
ball.
3.
Here we go on the fill. Blocked it nicely. Breaks up the split. 8 in the fill. 79 through 6.
There you go.
Rischitelli gets a head pin and gets a
Two
split.
more.
Karen looking at the 4-7 with some wood in front of it. Might help. And it does. Another spare for her. Pete trying to get his own. And it goes to the left of the object. Doesn't go. He's got a decent lead right now, but Devish can go back at you too. Nice 10 box for Pete Rischitelli. Caught all of the 3 pins of that split. 72-7. And once again, Karen Rischitelli on the fill. This is her 4th mark for the fill this game. First ball. Left pocket. Put it up some.
Oh, wasn't even there.
7 in the fill.
Trying to figure that.
And in a split.
One more.
Side. So Karen is at 96 through 7. Let's put up a good game here. Trying to get the spare on the 3-5-7. It would be between a 3 and a 5. Solid. 7 doesn't carry. I don't know why, but it did. It looked like a great shot. He trying to pick up his half rack here. Both bowlers open. Box 8. Karen Rischitelli with a 9, 105 through 8.
Oh,
Pete with a 9 box. 81 through 8. So Karen put up 105 in both of their first 2 games. She's there in the 8th box now. Doesn't need to spare to get one. First ball went wide to the left. Out. On the head pin, left side.
not a good thing.
Drop 9. He's got just the 3 pin hanging out there.
Good Lord, that's ugly.
Looks a little ugly. He's got to think about how he's going to hit this. Best object. Knows the spare in the 9 for her. He's going right at it. He's going to rush inside, and he gets it. Not a lot of wiggle room in that one. Karen with 9 box, 114.
There you go.
Spare can get her 130. He's looking for his first 100. There's 96 and 97 in his
Hey, it
first.
went.
Karen punches out a half Worcester left, just 2 in the 8. I always like to see that. Pete Rischitelli on a fill. Good ball. Just broke a little to the right. The head pin. That looks like 4 in the fill. 5.
That was not on purpose.
Karen did not get a spare on that, but she did a great effort to break up that half Worcester. Every but the 5 pin went. Good hit for that.
Woof.
Down a few more. He's got just 2 left for 10 bucks. And she's got it. 10 for a 123. That 9 box gives Pete Rischitelli a 104. Rischitelli with a nice game at
Look,
the
you
third,
got something to build.
123. 333 for total right now. And Pete Rischitelli with 104. His first game over 100 in this match. And he's definitely been bowling under his average so far. Watch for him to pick it up. He's at 297 through 3. All right, the home bowler's coming up. Halfway through this game, Don Devish was behind Pete Rischitelli 53 to 44.
These guys, you got to punish them.
And it's close to the other side. Aaron Rischitelli led at the half, 61 to 56. But
The dents in the pins are proof.
Madison's going to need to be over 60 and a half to have a chance of catching Karen. Off the head.
They got them
Devish picks
fancy
up the
hard
head pin.
balls. Yeah. Eric Dunn used
Catches
like a
the
mixed
split.
situation with these balls.
Lorion shooting at the 4 horsemen. He's trying to go on the outside. This is everything Devish had. Sideways triangle plus a 7, picked up 2.
Oh!
$9.
Damn.
Lorion, and $8 for Devish. Devish
Snuck
is
right
at
through.
52. Down 10. And Lorion at 65. Down 14. Lorion, nice head pin hit. It's a split.
Nice ball, Timmy. One full box.
So both guys nailed the head pin but dropped the splits. So Lorion's got some movement to work with here. Might be able to make that go. He's looking at 4, 7, 10. Just the 4. Unbelievable. Devish had a 3-1 split.
One full.
3 and 1. 3-1.
Come on, cannonball!
For the 10 attempt. And he gets the 7 to go. Devish for the $7. He's at 59. He's down 13 pins. $9 for Lorion. He's at 74. He's down 24.
That's worth a try.
Probably put up that double mark.
Right, get the stick.
That's the big difference right now. Lorion trying to catch up. In the pocket.
Come on, Madison. That's
He's going to get a strike. Almost. But the 2 pins stayed up. Devish is left with
Hey, stay over.
line of 3. Lorion
Fight for it, but just
picks up a spare. Devish can't get that back pin to go. He's not going to need luck right now. And a $9 for Don. 68. 8. Down 13. And he's up against a Mark 4. Lorion on the fill. Buries it on the head pin, only takes out 5. Spread eagle minus the 6 pin.
Wow.
Closer, but not still a ways to go. He's at 84 through 8, up against a 105 through 8. Nice try, takes out the 3. Devish trying to get a spare here. Put it where he wanted, but it didn't go. $10 for Madison, Lorion, 99.
Got too many 9s right now.
Yeah.
Way too many.
Strike territory.
That's what it is. I'm not aiming well, that's for sure.
I believe that was a 10. Looked away for a second. Things happen fast. Alright, that's going to do it. Aaron Rischitelli will win this string. Don Devish off the head pin. Do it for him, too. But he gets a spare at the end. That was good. 88 in the ball.
Oh, good time.
Keep his advantage in the 10 box.
Three more.
Not enough to catch Karen. Devish is on the fill here and puts 8 on.
Wow.
96.
Oh, keep going.
All right, results of game 3. Rischitelli defeats Madison. Lorion 123 to 109. We'll give her 2 points there. And in total on that, it's 333 to 320. In the Devish Rischitelli match.
Do it! Come
We have it
on!
at 96 to
Oh,
104,
dude.
which gives 2 points to Pete Rischitelli. Here's first 2 points. And I'm going to confirm that because I'm not sure that ninth box. Don, can you tell me if you have your ninth box on
Two more. You have a lot of nines of. Yeah, it's everyone fast me a buck.
So I didn't mess it up. It was a 9 box, so I can write these scores down officially. And 299 to 297 in total in the B division match in favor of Don Devish. So it's 4 points to 2. Devish leads. Start game 4. Rischitelli, Pete Rischitelli is on the head pin. Leaves a split. Karen Rischitelli off the head pin.
Hey!
So it's 4 to 2 in both matches.
One full.
Pete Rischitelli on the Sparetime.
Yeah!
Nice try, but the pin didn't capture the left side.
There.
Trying to pick this up. Ball just broke a little bit. Didn't catch a head pin. 10 box for Pete. Karen trying to pick up a 10 out of the 1-4-6-10. She's going for it. We've seen her be pretty aggressive here. Some bowlers will go for the 6-10. She's trying to get it all and gets a 7 box. So that really only cost her a pin to make that bet. So she gone for the 3, she would have had 8. She took the 7. Worth a try.
Collins says that shot never goes.
Rischitelli on the head pin gets another split. Rischitelli, ball breaks into the head pin. She's left with a spread eagle minus the 2. Rischitelli trying to pick up the 3-7-9, and he gets it. Rischitelli trying to do the 3-2, just off the 3 pin. 4 more to go for. We'll see what she does here. She's been pretty aggressive so far. Will she just take the 8, or will she try to get a 10? She's going to take the 8 and gets a 7.
Yep.
14 for 2.
2 pins.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Just put up that nice 123 game.
Oh, jeez.
And we're coming into box 3. Pete Rischitelli is on a fill.
Thank God.
Hits a head pin, breaks up the split.
Hey, 2
He's gonna
down,
get
2
a
minutes to
extra,
go.
he might. And that's a 7 fill. Karen Rischitelli, nicely done on a head pin, but as a banana split, 4, 6, 7, 10. Pete Rischitelli looking at that triangle and takes out the back 2, but not the front one. He's a 27-2. Karen trying to get the banana split. Nice try.
Hollow pins.
Takes out the right 2. And Pete with a 10 box, 37-3. Karen with an 8 box. A little behind on this one, 22.
Shrapnel. Nice ball, kid.
I got no balls.
All right, we have a equipment issue at the moment.
Hey,
So on lane 8, Pete Rischitelli's balls are not coming back. So we'll take a minute. And I don't have the scores on the Imparato Douglas
Oh,
match,
hey, 1, 2. Oh, there they go.
but we can hear Micah a little bit. The balls are coming back after all, so we have something to work with there. Back to the D and the B match.
Spinny spin.
On the
Your
B
favorite fill.
division, Pete Rischitelli starting box 4. Off the head pin on the 2.
Shot zone.
Rischitelli in the D division. Pocket shot.
Oh!
It's everything to go but the 9.
If I'm not
Or not the
mistaken,
9,
the head pin
drops
stopped that
9,
piece
leaves
of wood
2.
from touching the 5.
Pete picks
Nice
that up
ball.
nicely. That was a tough shot. 3-2.
The dance is questionable.
Spare in the
Ball was
4th for Pete Rischitelli. Karen Rischitelli looking for her own. And just misses. Trying to get a 10 box here. Gets a 10.
That's the boy. Set up the
She's
gun.
at 32 through 4. Needs a spare to get to 50. On the fill for Pete. Head pin hit, and that's a
Same ball.
strike. Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
10 fill, 20 bucks, 57 through 4. Karen Rischitelli on the 2 pin.
Yeah, the pins play
Pete
surprisingly.
Rischitelli sits down with a 67 plus a ball. That's more like what we're used to seeing him bowl.
All right, Timmy, I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want this lead or you want
Karen
a 5
does
fill?
not get the spare. Trying
All
to
right,
come
that
up
got
with a
better.
10.
I missed the easy pair out. Gotta do the 7 fill.
See if she can get the 3, 8, 10 to go. And she does. Nice shot.
Yeah. Pick up some
42
speed. Roll downhill. Roll
at the
downhill.
half. And our visiting bowlers, our home bowlers come up. I'm sorry, visitors are first here. Devish is up against a tough half that Pete put up.
Attaboy. One more.
Swapping the balls from side to side.
52. Yeah, 52 with a box.
Okay. Start the action box or game 4 for the home bowlers.
There you go.
Devish on his
Ladies and
first
gentlemen, a mixer.
Nice left pocket. Drop 6, left diamond. Madison gets a great break there. He is off the head pin, but leaves it back 3. However, the wood's a little dicey. Nice try by Don. So he's got one looking at him that he's going to want to. He's didn't fully cap it, and that's what I was afraid was going to happen. I wanted to be around that if he could. 10 box for Don. Now it's easier to make, but you got to hit it. So 7 box, matching Karen's 7 box in her first. Going to box 2. Don Devish starts out. Another pocket hit and another split. Madison to the right, or to the left, I'm sorry, with the just 3. Devish trying to pick up a spare out of the 3, 5, or the 2, 5, 7. 2. Lorion goes to the right. 4 still standing. And 10 box for Don. He's great at pinning. And that's 20 through 2. And a 10 for Madison, so he's a 17. Takes a 3-pin lid over Karen Rischitelli. And that's in completed boxes. Devish box 3. In the pocket, drops a strike. He's going to need some of that. Rischitelli put up a great half, 67 and a ball. 3 marks, 2 spares, and a strike on spare. Madison, Lorion still has 6 up there, so wants to clean this up. And that's a 9 box. 26 through 3. He's actually ahead of Karen still, who is at 22. Devish is on a 2-ball fill. I'd love to put up a double here. And he does. Did I call that or what? Double strike for Don Devish.
One more.
Madison Lorion off the head pin. He's left with 3 and 1, and he gets a spare.
You guys spare 9 folding.
All right, Don Devish is going to go for a triple here. See that often. He does have them. Let's see if he can do it.
There you go.
It's off the pocket, no triple, but 6 in the fill, so 6. All right, and Don is left with a 1, 2, 7, 10. And a 9 fill in the second strike. So, Madison no spare. Devish for the 10, close out to half. All right, by my count, let me add this up. A lot of action here.
I went to the bathroom, so.
Yeah, it was spare 9 and
46,
like spare 9.
Nice spin, yeah.
56 and 9.
Oh, that too, did.
Don Devish put up a 75 half.
No,
And
spare 9.
Yeah, okay.
And Madison Lorion a 53 by my count. I believe he had a 7 in that fill. Okay, Karen Rischitelli a 42 through the half. Pete Rischitelli's on a strike. He's a 67. He can catch Don with a good fill. Half Worcester left for Karen. On the fill for Pete. Okay, just 3 so far, but he's got on a strike, so he has 2 balls on the fill. Karen trying to spare the half Worcester. It's the late pins to go. He went wide and right, but got a break, so 8 in the fill. And we're tied 75 to 75 in the B match at that half.
One more.
Nice 10 by Karen, 52. And a 9 for Pete. He's at 84 through 6. So Don Devish came back from behind it, put that double strike up there, and that was big because Rischitelli put up a 75 half, and Don was able to match it. Karen on a head pin, and there's her strike. First marker of this game.
Do it! Wow, what a
It's
bid.
still falling for Pete. And he took out 5, no head pin hit. He's got some wood behind there that may help.
Oh, no.
Just off the object. I thought he was going to get it, but didn't. No spare for Pete.
Well, speaking of all that, you have a 55 half out of all those 9. That's not too bad.
Actually, he's got 3. All right, a 9 box regardless. Closes with a 9. 93 through
For
7.
obvious reasons.
He's warming up some here because he started off relatively slow. First ball in the fill for Karen was 6 or 5. Left with a collision. Pete's left with 4 horsemen plus the.
Twice.
No, the 5 is gone. It
The
looked
good
like
news
it was
is
there.
they got another ball.
So I've got another screen. You can see it. Karen trying to fill that strike. Does with an 8. 70 through 7. Pete trying to spare the 4 horsemen, leaves the 10.
No, that's not the 3 I would have expected. Show me something here.
Karen with a 9 box, 79. Pete picks up the 10, 103 through 8.
Again, not the 3 I would have expected.
Coming in a box 8 of game 4. Karen Rischitelli, 79 8. And hits a head pin in box 9.
Oh, that's a string. What the shit?
It's up for the 3-7 split. Pete is ahead of him, and he also
Yeah.
has a split. 3 and 1. Karen's got wood there that may help.
Nice ball.
He wants to play the right side of that 3 pin. He's on the left side and just takes out the wood. Pete looking at 3 and 1 again, and just gets the 3 pin. Right, so both boulders open. That time she hit the right side a little too much. And ends up with a 9 box.
Oh, there we go.
Pete with an 8 box. He's at 111
Ain't
through
over yet.
9, and Karen is at 88 through 9. She hasn't had a game under 100 yet, so she's going to need a mark to get there in this game. Nice head pin.
No, they're all connected.
6-7 split.
3.
And Pete was off to the left. Came into the 2 pin. And left to 3-2 split.
Stay hot.
Karen's got wood here that may help her make the spare. Almost. A little short pin down there. And no spare for Pete.
Oh boy.
He's got 8 down. Needs 1 more for a 120.
24, 34 plus.
That's a 9 box or 10 box for Karen, 98. 10 box for Pete, 121. Write those down. 121 for Pete Rischitelli. And a 98 for Karen.
Woo!
So Pete Rischitelli is at 418 through 4. Karen Rischitelli.
You didn't want that.
Is at 431. All right, Don Devish coming up to challenge Pete
53, 2 pins
Rischitelli,
up all deck.
and Madison
Nice job.
is trying to get ahead of Karen. Don Devish is a 75 at the half. Gets
Yeah.
a head pin, takes
One
out
pin
9.
up all deck, that 9 bucks. Yeah,
Madison.
9 bucks
Oh,
is
that's a
not out the
strike. What do you know? Another strike for Don. And Madison was looking at 4 pins spread all over the place there. Took out all but the 8 pin. And he gets set for 10 bucks. He's a 63 through 6. Don Devish at an 85 plus a 2-ball fill. Puts him in a very good position here because Pete threw a 121 game but had no marks in the second half. Don's got a mark already. They were tied at the half. Gives him a good opportunity. Lorion on his first
Nice
ball
looking,
in
man.
box
I believe
7. On the 3 pin, takes out 4. Devish on the 3 pin just punches out. But he's got a second ball in the fill.
Oh!
Lorion on a spare attempt. He's on the object. Back pins don't go. Devish looking for a big fill here.
Yeah.
And I'd say 8's a good fill on that. So 93 through 6. 7 box gives Lorion a 70 through 7. And an 8 box for Don. It's 101 through 7, and he's definitely in the lead here. Does not need a mark the rest of the way. Lorion is tied with Karen Rischitelli. Nice pocket hit, but didn't give him a lot of what he wanted. It's a split there. Devish hit the pocket. Has a 5-10 split. Some wood that may help.
Wow.
All right, Pete's looking at the 210. See if that wood will help him. He takes out the 10, but not the 2. Well, maybe a late actor here. In the meantime, Devish picks up his spare. Oops, wrong side.
Hey,
Look at that, folks.
And a 9 bucks.
another 9. Another 9 that
It's a
time.
79. We're still knotted up on the D division match. Through the 8th box, 79 for each bowler. Lorion's going to need he's going to really need a spare to do this because Karen put up a 9 and a 10. There's no any margin for error here. Devish on the fill, in the pocket. Actually a little full on the head pin. Puts up a split, and that is fill.
Oh, go full.
15
I almost got it right.
through 8. Nicely done. The 5-pin stayed. Both bowlers shooting as single pins for 10s.
Another
9 bucks for each.
Last one.
Don Devish has won this string, and he still has another box to go.
4 strikes and we tied, right?
We are tied
well, there's
still in the D division match. Karen Rischitelli put up a 10 in the last box. So Madison Lorion needs to spare to win.
A lot.
And that looked like a strike all day. We got a pin going over late. Maybe it'll do it. Nope, does
Had
not.
enough time to toughen up for it.
All right, so Lorion needs a 10 to tie, a spare 1 to win.
Do it!
Devish hit the head pin on that
Oh!
one. Took out 4.
Supposed to go less
Wood's
than
lining
4,
up
but I
pretty
couldn't
good
resist
for Madison here. But it could be an obstacle if he goes straight to the pin.
Well, we have
He's got to play the wood, I think. He's doing it. Gets a spare. He had to get a spare.
Hey, look at
No
that,
spare
another
for
ten.
Devish. He doesn't need one.
One more.
And he gets a 10 box for a 134. And he beats Pete Rischitelli's 121. Very good game here for him. Lorion, penny pin wins it. And he's got it. He puts 6 in the fill. 4, 104.
Over.
What?
Nope.
What? Damn it, what?
All right, adding up the totals quickly.
You have to hit the high side.
And let me get you where we stand right now. We just finished the penultimate game of this match. One more to go. In the B division, Don Devish defeated Pete Rischitelli in game 4, 134 to 121 to take 2 points. He's got 6 points to Rischitelli's 2. And in total, it's 433 for Devish to 418 for Rischitelli. By my count, which may vary a little bit from what the bowlers did. If I made a mistake, their score is the official. In the D division, Madison Lorion won 104 to 98. In total, Karen Rischitelli leads 431 to 424. It's tied in points, 4-4. Game 5 has now begun. And Karen starts out with a head pin hit and a split. Pete was off the head pin. He still has 5 up there after he threw his second ball. Karen trying to spare this. Got a chance, but just catches the 5 pin. And Pete Rischitelli ends up with a 9 box here. Karen's looking at the 4-7-6. Try to get a couple. Just trying to play it off the wall. Very aggressive here.
My
8
name is
box.
Micah. I don't like to finish boxes. All right, time for my 80-pin rally.
Okay, Pete Rischitelli, box 2 in the pocket, but full on the head pin. Punches out everything. Well, leaves a spread eagle minus a 3. Karen's off the head pin, has the Colery left. Pete trying to carry that over, does not work. Karen needs to be on the head pin, one side or the other for this to go.
Oh!
Nope, the breaking ball broke a little pass ahead of the head pin. 9 box for Pete again, 18 through 2. Karen trying to pick up this 1, 4, 7, 9. Get a chunk of that for somehow that ball slid in between. Unbelievable. So 14 through 2. That was really weird because it just missed the head pin to the right, but with her break, instead of catching a 9, which normally would happen, it hooked through where the spot where the 5 would be.
Show me one, Timmy.
So you don't see that one all the time. Waiting on a reset for number 9.
Nine jammed up.
It takes a minute sometimes, so and I'm out of coffee.
It heard you coming.
All
Nice ball,
right,
Timmy.
points are being reset for Pete Rischitelli. He's at 18 through 2. Trying to pick up another game and catch up on total if he can.
Jeez.
To do so, he needs to win this string by 15. That doesn't help. Beautiful head pin hit. Karen on the head pin again. Nothing great there. So Pete on the right has a 4-6 split. There's wood by the 6.
Tough to get things out
He's
of that.
kind of got to
plastic
take
here.
that off the wall. Karen hit the head pin, and she's got the 5, 7, 8, 6,
Kick.
10. He's going to try to bounce the ball over. Doesn't go. Nice try. Took some off the wall.
2.
Yeah, these are tough leaps, especially after throwing a good first ball. 9 box again for Pete Rischitelli, and 9 times 3 is 27. Karen trying to get out of here with an 8 or 9. 10 would be wonderful.
Hey!
And how about a 10? She did it. 24.
Get the
through
circle
3.
this
That was
one.
a
Nice
great
ball,
shot.
Timmy.
A tough competitor here.
Good
Pete
shooter.
Rischitelli, who's 27 through 3. He won the game. Get on the head pin.
Take the corner, come
And,
forward.
that's not any better. Still a split. Karen catches the
Stay on the
head
deck.
pin
Stay
on
on
the
the deck.
left.
Over 2 on my calls.
Pete's got to try to pick up the 4 or 5 with no wood. He's going to go off the wall. Doesn't work.
I like the idea.
Karen's got the 3, 7, 10. She'll have to make a great shot here because the wood doesn't look that great to me. Maybe. That's about as good as you can get. She definitely took it off the right wall.
You're making me feel like a
And an
4-horse
8 box
champ.
for Pete Rischitelli.
Pick it up.
35 through 4. Karen with that 10, she's a 34 through 4. She's fighting back here after a couple of tough first boxes. Well, her 8 wasn't bad, but she had a 6 and a 2. Box 5, game 5. Rischitelli in the pocket. And after all's said and done, it's a 7-8 split. Karen off to the side. And she just took out 3, it looks like. Pete's got some wood there that may help make this. No, went for the left wood, did not carry the 8. Karen's got a bunch. Pete with a 9, or 10 bucks, 45 through 5. Karen's got one more ball. She's got the 158 down there. That'll be tough to get all of those.
Oh.
And she doesn't get any of them for 7 bucks. Halfway through game 5, Karen Rischitelli's our visiting bowler is at 41. And her son Pete, who's also visiting, is at a 45.
Holy shit, you made one.
I got one!
Our home bowlers come up to start the last game of this match. Don Devish in the orange, Madison, Lorion in the green. Don is battling Pete Rischitelli. Madison bowling against Karen.
Oh,
Starting off
baby.
game 5. Why not get a split on a head pin? We see a lot of that, don't we? So Don's got 4 down there. Now he's got 5. He had 6. He had 5.
Oh yeah.
And he just wants to get out of this with a good pinfall. And 8's a good pinfall on it. Madison's got 8 down. So 1-8 or left. And he gets a 9. My score would be slightly off for you guys. I think I'm accurate, but I could miss it. Okay, Devish, box 2, game 5. On the 3-pin, gets a better lead than he did when he hit the head pin. It has just his head pin left. Head pin for Madison didn't do him any favors.
One point in time, I saw the whole back row.
Devish looking for a mark here. It just goes wide to the right. He didn't like that. Look at this. Lorion almost got that. He's still in the 9-pin stage.
Good.
Box score.
Oh,
Devish 18 through 2. 9 box for Lorion. He's also at 18.
hey.
Box 3, game 5.
2 more.
Devish with another nice ball. And he's left with a 4-7. Lorion put it on the head pin and left a split. Spare for Devish. He's thinking that 7 would have been nice on the fill in the second, but
Another
it didn't
split.
happen that
Nice.
way. So Lorion trying to pick up the 4, 8, 10. Gets the 4 and the 10 and the 8's wiggle in, but doesn't want to fall. So open box and it's 3rd for him. Now the wood's blocking and it goes wide to the left, to the right. I can't tell my left and right anymore. But he gets the 10. 28 through 3. Devish is at 28 plus this ball. Just 3 in a fill. Lorion head pin hit. Don Devish, nice bid on that. Lorion is looking at the 4-7-5, is that? Can't get that. Tried. Good bid on it. Devish with that 8 box is at 39. 4 to that 9 box puts Lorion at 37. Okay. We're coming down to the end of this. Just off the head pin, Don Devish drops 5, leaves a Leary. Madison Lorion puts it on the head pin.
Oh.
And that's the 9-10 split. No go for Devish. Got some wood there to take it. Nope, deflects
Oh,
around
good.
the 9.
Makes up for all the other pins.
And Devish with a 7
All right,
box.
Timmy, finish strong, kid.
46. Lorion with a 10 box. He's at 47. All right, halfway through game 5. Madison Lorion leads Karen Rischitelli 47 to 46. And Don Devish leads Pete Rischitelli 46 to 45. Nail biter on us. But Devish has an advantage in total, as does Karen Rischitelli, though it's really tight right now. And after we completed that half, it's a 1-pin total lead for Karen Rischitelli. Half a game to go. And she starts with a nice pocket shot,
Oh,
drops a
way
hand.
to pop it
That
up.
was a bomb. No doubt about that. Pete puts it on the head pin.
Good out, Timmy.
And that's kind of an ugly split.
Karen, I think I could throw that
What's
the
that?
entire second half of my string and not take
Or no,
total.
4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
Might take this game.
He's got to be in the 4-pin, I think.
Well,
So where he's going,
I need all the help I can get.
that's the idea.
Okay,
But no guarantees that was going to work.
that's good. He's excellent. All right, show me one.
Takes
I got
out
5
a
out of
9
6.
for the
Get 6 out of 6.
first box of the second half. And that puts him at 54. All right, Karen Rischitelli is at 51
start
plus 2 ball fill. She's had quite a few strikes today. I see 1, 2, 3. She had 3 strikes.
Whoa! 777. 3 to go.
And
Double!
what about a double? On the left pocket, Karen Rischitelli doubles.
Like I said, it's a great house. It's honest. And if you're off by a smidge, it's the most.
Still adding
total.
strengths to her total. In the meantime,
like it.
P went to the 3 pin, took out 5. Just misses the object.
Wow. Nice ball, Tim. The guy that operates the place.
Trying to
Real
get a
nice.
bunch out of this. Needs a big win to catch Devish with total. And can't afford too many boxes without marks.
Today, the role of Mike
Buddies
will be
is
played by Timmy.
62
All the luck coming with it.
At 7.
Woo!
Karen Rischitelli attempting a triple.
All right, 2 more, buddy. Make it big.
It's in there.
Ah!
Almost. 8.
Although. You would.
Right. So
You're
in
the
the
six.
6th box, she's at 69, right?
I like that board, buddy.
28, 69. And she has the 6 split. And a piece of wood I don't really like up there. She's going for that. And almost gets it, but
Your
it's
ball,
9 in the second
Bucket, I
strike.
wanted to see you sweep it across.
So that puts her at 88 through 7.
Oh!
Pete's open as well.
Great second ball, kid.
And a 9. And Pete closes with a 9. So Pete's 71 through 8. Karen is a 97 through 8.
Look at that junk
Double
novelty ball.
strikes, the pins add up quick. Just off the head pin. 4 go down. Pete looking for a head pin hit. And he gets it, but the triangle on the left stays up. Karen looking at 4 horsemen plus 2. Man, what a great shot, but all the 6 pin stayed up.
Oh,
A tough first half, but well, nothing fell for Pete. And 10 bucks for Karen, 107 through 9. And a 10 bucks for Pete. He's at 81 through 9. Total's pretty much out of the reach here. But he wants to at least come out with a win, so he's
looks like
going
we
to
have
want to mark
37
here.
pins
Devish
standing
is
and
coming
35
out
head
next.
pin splits.
621.
Karen wide right, gets a lemon drop. Just 1 pin. Pete's in there. And another split. Karen with 9 to shoot at. Okay, open in the 10th. Would deflect the ball for Pete. Now Karen with her last ball of the match. With a 189. She gets a 1 for an 8 box. 9 box for Pete. And he closes out his last game with a 90. Karen Rischitelli with a 115 in game 5. And by my edition. That's a 546 set. Pete Rischitelli with a 508. Not his day today. Well under his average of 109. All right, home bowlers coming up to finish out this match. And Madison Lorion has got some work to do. He's a 47 through 5. He needs to get to 116 to take the points. And Don Devish is a 46. He needs to put up 45 pins to win this string and the total. First ball, Madison Lorion with the 4 horsemen. Don Devish. Well, that's a Cleary actually. Don Devish with a head pin to split. Spread eagle. Devish makes a run at it. Lorion went wide to the left.
In a 7 box.
Devish with an 8 box. 54 for Don through 6. 54 through 6 for Madison.
Never go.
Okay, Madison's going to need from here 61 pins to tie in 4 boxes. Off the head for both.
Warmed up now.
Madison looking at the 127. Don 1367. I can't believe that didn't go. He hit that pen. Threw the wood at it, and it just wiggled, but it didn't go down. Devish gets his spare. And a 10 box for Madison. That's really aggravating when you're bowling because he hit it about as good as he could. Flew a piece of wood over to the 7. It rushed against it, wobbled, and stayed up. And if you ever come back and stand a pin up on its own, it doesn't take a lot to make it fall. Devish with 8 in the fill. Head pin is split again. Madison had to Cleary. Devish looking at 5-7. Just 5 goes. He's a 72 through 7. Madison gets an 8. Devish a 10. That puts Lorion at 72 through 8. Devish at 82. Don Devish needs 9 pins and 2 boxes to win this string and the match. Lorion is down quite a bit, about 25 pins. But he hit the head pin that time, left the single, just a 5.
There's another 9.
Devish off the head pin. All right, there's a spare for Madison. First one of this game, box 9. No spare for Don Devish. And an 8 box, 90. He is tied. The next pin wins the string. Last box of the match. Madison Lorion on a spare. He's on a 2-pin, puts 5 in it. 87 through 9. And that'll give the game to Karen. Split for Devish. He's won this game. He's got the 4, 6, 7, 10. And it's still there, less a piece of wood. Madison put up a mark, 97 in the ball, but he can't get to 115. Still a good comeback. 7 box for Don Devish, 97. He wins game 5.
560. Woo! Class C, folks, Class C.
All right. right, and that gives him a
Sit on
530
such a chair.
total,
It's good to watch.
which will win the points for that. For the fill, in the last ball of this match, Madison puts 5 in it, 97, 102. All right, let me give you the totals, and then we'll wrap this up. 526.
Well, I beat you.
Okay,
Ken's
in
left
our
standing.
B division, Don
That's
Devish
the only
takes
thing I
12
need.
points to Pete Rischitelli's 2 and wins total 530 to 508 in the
Yeah,
D
let's all
division.
hold it down. You gotta come back on the 26th.
4
Give Matt a lunch for his money.
2. Karen Rischitelli will win 10 to 4. And she took total 546 to 526. These are unofficial numbers. I'm keeping the score on my own in the back. It may or may not match with the official score, but it should be pretty close. Yeah, I'm off by 1. I'm off by 1. So it's 527 to 547, but the points total remains the same. So, like I said, I could be off a pin or two here or there, but thank you very much for joining us. This is Dan Castle with the Candlepin Bowling Network here at Sparetime Recreation in Whitinsville. Thanks for joining us. And on the 2-pin, and she leaves in Caleri, which is the 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10. Pete on the spare attempt gets it. There it is. Goes to the right 2. Karen's got wood in front of the 4 and the 7. Gets red line. I think she's got it. Right on red line, and that's her first spare of the game. So, Devish puts a great bid on that one. But the 6-pin stayed up. Madison head pin and gets a spare. Devish with a head pin hit. He took out 8. He's left with a 2-8. Lorion off to the right. He's left in 104. He starts out with a head pin and a split.
Nice ball.
Ready for
Nice
Horseman.
ball.
Karen Rischitelli puts Karen.
One more.
A 70 through 7. There he's
All
got a
of
head pin
them.
and drops a bomb. The whole quarter's on the head pin.
Come on.
Split for Don Devish. Madison looking to spare opportunity. He gets it.
Strike. Again.
Lorion puts up a strike.
Oh, Timmy too. Damn it.
And I didn't see that. Not that it really matters. There's 3 left. Karen trying to put it in a pocket. On the head pin, picks up the spare. Nicely done. His first head pin hit in this game. And Madison puts up a strike.
Oh, come on.
All right, Don Devish. I think about 3-1
Nice
spare,
kick.
and he does. Nicely done. Little mini split there.
Good half.
Nice spare by Karen. 4 horsemen plus a 5. So just the 10 pin is up. Head pin on that.
You got one more.
Karen picks up the spare. Nicely done.
You got one more.
Karen picks up the spare. Nicely done. And he picks up the spare in the left triangle. Leaves a
Hell of a
double line.
ball.
Madison picks up the spare. Nicely done. I thought that was going off a little bit. Don Devish with a strike. He's ideally in a 1-3 pocket, 1-2 pocket. She's getting into 1-3. That might work for her, and it does. I see it. Drops 9. He trying to pick up his own spare here, and he does. It's that 6-10 to go problem. Karen picks up puts 5 on hers with a Caleri right. He's hoping that'll go. Late action, and it goes. Nice wood, and the wood only takes out the 10. Madison's looking at the 6, 9, 10 triangle, and that goes. No problem.
All right, Timmy.
8
Wow,
on his
wow, wow,
fill.
wow. Nice ball, DJ. No love.
23, 42.
Right on, Madison.
7 with some wood in front of it. Might help. And it does. Another spare for her. Best object. Spare in the 9 for her. It's going right at it. Trying to rush to the side, and he gets it. Devish is left with
Hey, stay over.
a line of 3. Lorion
Fight for it, but stay
picks
over.
up a spare. Do it for him, too. When he gets a spare at the end, he's left with a spread eagle minus the 2. Rischitelli trying to pick up the 3.
And the
Second
head pin
range. Drops
stopped that
9,
piece
leaves
of wood
2.
from touching the 5.
Pete picks
Nice
that up
ball.
nicely. That was a tough one. Trying to get a 10 box here. Gets a 10.
That's the boy.
On the fill for Pete. Head pin hit, and that's a
Same ball.
strike. Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
And that's in completed boxes. Devish box 3. In the pocket, drops a strike. He's going to need. I'd love to put up a double here. And he does. Did I call that or what? Double. Madison Lorion off the head pin. He's left with 3 and 1. And he gets a spare. Rischitelli put up a 75 half, and Don was able to match it. Karen on a head pin, and there's her strike. First marker. Don Devish is a 75 at the half. Gets a head pin, takes out
One
9.
pin up all deck, that 9 box.
Madison.
9 bucks.
Oh, that's just see if that wood'll help him. He takes out the 10, but not the 2. Well, we're late actor here. In the meantime, Devish picks up his spare straight to the pin.
Well,
He's got to play the wood, I think. He's doing it. Gets a spare. He had to get a spare. Lorion put it on the head pin and left a split. Spare for Devish. He's sinking it. Half a game to go. And she starts with a nice pocket shot and drops a
way to
hand.
pop it
That
up.
was a bomb.
777. 3 to go.
And
Double!
what about a double on the left pocket? I can't believe that didn't go. He hit that pin. Threw the wood at it, and it just wiggled, but it didn't go down. It was a single, just a 5.
There's another 9.
Devish off the head pin. All right, there's a spare for Madison. First one. That'll give the game to Karen. Split for Devish. He's won this game.